It's Tuesday, and another week goes by where I haven't edited or recorded a Tuesday. In a way, it's quite liberating because I no longer feel the panic on Sunday and Monday to do a video for Tuesday. However, I have been panicking of late. I don't know why, but I've been working on an idea for a video. It's just to cover something that I like or something I'm passionate about. And instead of just sitting here talking about it like I'm doing right now, um, I wanted to do a video that had lots of edited clips from elsewhere in it and a narration, voiceover, etc., just to make it a little bit more worthwhile. You may remember a couple of years ago, I did a video about the making of the costumes for a Doctor Who spin-off movie called Cyberon. And I I made these costumes on a budget for the production company, and I went through all the problems and all the things that went wrong and all the things that went right. And look, I know that most of my life involves a lot of work for things that often go very wrong. I guess I'm not a genius, and let's face it, not many people are. Anyway, I think the learning and having the fun is part of it. Please excuse the bad hair. Bad hair is very bad. Anyway, so I wanted to do a video which I've begun to write, and I've got most of the clips together, and I'll probably have it written, may even have it edited in time for next week. It's a biggish edit job. It's nothing major. It's just about a TV thing from yesteryear, obviously. And yeah, I just wanted to do a video that had a bit more effort put into it, like back in the day when I gave a damn about YouTube. Let's face it, YouTube, unless I decided to be a shouty person who hated every film and TV project that came out, and got myself a Patreon and I don't know, basically was obnoxious as possible. That's the only way I could probably increase my viewership and maybe even start earning money off YouTube. Doing 2 videos a day or 2 videos a week, 3 videos a week, and lots of obnoxious content. But there's enough obnoxious content out there. And I frankly don't care enough to rant on stuff. Now, there's plenty of stuff I don't like, and dare say it, there are plenty of things out here in the big wide world that I hate. But am I going to go on about it? No, because I don't need the stress anymore. I'm 54, kids. I know I don't look it, but I am. I'm 55 this year, and I've settled into that. Instead of a grumpy old man, I am quite grumpy actually, but I'm more a kind of, I think I'm turning into more of a hippie I've always wanted to be, and just like, hey man, whatever. Because as you probably know, and as you probably have experienced yourself, we've all had plenty to deal with in the last couple of years. And we've all had, in fact, everyone I know, I can't think anyone who hasn't had, stresses and strains on the mental health. Mental health is something we never used to talk about. It would be like, oh, if I said I was depressed about something, my mother used to just be like, look, no one's going to solve your problems for you. You got to take life by the horns, shake it off, No, my mother never said shake it off. She wasn't into Taylor Swift. She'd just say, she'd say, shake yourself. She said, just, you need to shake yourself, boy, you do. So both my parents were very sort of quote unquote practical like that. Another word for it would be cold and uncaring. But my mother did care in her own way. I'd rather be with her than without her, and unfortunately, I've been without my mother now for 2005. 25, nearly 10 years. Is that right? 2005, 2015. Sorry, just under 20 years. This is why I have an accountant. Anyway, so we've all had our mental health has taken a good battering over the last couple of years through exterior influences and happenings, and also through interior things. Uh, I'm not I'm not particularly bright, but I'm a thinker, and I have also I'm a worrier. I've always been a worrier as well. So I basically panic about stuff. I worry about stuff and have done all my life, and that takes a toll on your mental health. I'm also a very, very solitary person, so I spend a lot of time on my own. I do enjoy time with friends, but I'm trying to think with a word for it. It may just be the ADHD thing, but you go out there and you enjoy being sociable, but it runs your batteries down quite quickly. So you need to get away and have time on your own again to recharge. So it's a weird thing. I like being alone. I'm used to being alone, but I don't want to be alone all the time. Sometimes you do need people to bounce off of. Sorry, it's in the morning and I just see people wandering around, going about their daily business, and you see almost the same people. Small town life, eh? Anyway, so the whole thing is like, I'm trying to get to the point in life now, being in my mid-50s, that I just don't want to stress about stuff that doesn't concern me anymore. And even if it does concern me, try to take it, in a more laid back way. There's no point in freaking out. I mean, sometimes there's a point in freaking out. We can't help it. Still, I did notice I was watching the viewing figures here, and one person joined for like 20 seconds and disappeared, which is fine. I'll leave this here so some of you can watch it on replay. So if you're watching on the replay, hello. Anyway, so what's coming up? Well, I haven't talked a lot about the film recently because we had a technical hitch which scuppered our plans to film in February. God, we're in March already. So the plan is to rejig everything and focus on our fundraising first, because we do need to raise some more money in order to make this film. As you may remember me saying, I'm at least trying to make sure that none of the actors and crew are out of pocket for this one. I'm not asking for freebies. I'm also not paying union rates because I just don't have that money. It's still a very much an amateur. In fact, I would say my films, or this film coming up, is so quote unquote amateur. It's a case of college films and student films. Something went click then. I have a message. Someone's posted something to me. Great. Yeah, amateur films, university films have got better organization and budgets than my film. But unfortunately, I'm not a student, so I can't just say to people, "Everyone, can you work for me for free?" Because I'm a student and it's a student film, because I'm not. But I'm also not rich enough to actually fund everything. I have thrown a lot of my money into the film so far, and that's the only way we've got off the starting blocks. But we need to go ahead. We've got some great stuff planned, and I believe we've got a good script this time around, and I've done 6 drafts of it, and I think it's pretty good. And what we filmed last year in September has turned out really well. So we're just going to focus on. I just noticed my landlady walking down there. She's going to be looking up at the window because this used to be her father's flat. So she's going to be looking up and waving at me in a second. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. She probably just spotted me now. She probably saw me on the phone, actually. My landlords are great, by the way. Super nice people. What was I saying? Yeah. We need to raise some money to carry on with the film. The script is good. I was talking to someone the other day about script writing, and it's script writing's a really fun thing, but it's also it can be frustrating and infuriating because you you've got the story in your head. You need to get it down on paper as good as it is in your head, but then you start realizing you can do like so much different things with it. You can change things, and you can change the arrangement of where the scenes go and all this kind of stuff. You could turn a pretty linear story into a Quentin Tarantino style twist. What do you want? Go away. There's people out there. I'm being grumpy again. So yeah, it's a fun thing, and it makes me think I want to write another book, not another Kangazang book. There are a very small number of people who've read all three Kangazang books that I wrote back in the day, and they like them. But I think I need to write something new. Um, I mean, I could. I've always wondered where Jeff and Ray and M25 and Tailback and Gridlock, what they're up to now. But writing another Kangazang book would be a little bit pointless. Maybe I should just write notes, so when I'm dead and the notes get discovered, someone else can pick up the torch and carry on. That would be quite good, actually. Someone to write another Kangazang book after my death, a bit like Johan Colfer did the sixth Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book long after Douglas Adams' death. A lot of people don't like it, obviously, because it's not Douglas Adams. But I've heard the audio dramatized version by the BBC. And once you hear the Simon Jones and Mark Wing-Davey and all the regular cast, you think, it's pretty good. It is pretty Hitchhikers. Anyway, I've gone off on tangents again, haven't I? Yeah, I was talking about the film. So the film is definitely going ahead, but I'm really enjoying the break from it. Obviously, I've been working up to February to get the February shoot done. So the February shoot didn't happen. So one way you can look at it is, well, I haven't done anything since September last year, but I have. I've done quite a lot. I wonder if you can see it from here. Look, there's an Egyptian sarcophagus there. That's the second one. By the way, if you know anybody who's got one of those, wants to sell it on the cheap, somebody tried to sell me one of these for 900 quid, and I can't afford that. Plus, it's made of MDF and fiberglass. It's not worth 900 quid. If it was a one-off and it was handmade, well, it is handmade. Let's face it, fiberglass is handmade. But I don't think it's worth 900 quid. Anyway, where were I? Yes. We will be doing more on the film, especially as it gets brighter and the weather gets better, that kind of stuff. And the car boot sales start as well, so I can start scouring car boot sales for bargain set dressing. Anyway, I don't know how long this video is going to go on for. We're already at 13 minutes and 35 seconds. I've had two people pop on for 20 seconds and disappear, which is fine. And no questions in the chat, so I'll just keep talking until I get a question or two, I suppose. Anyway, so that's the film stuff. We are going ahead. We've got our first proper event of the year won't be until May. We're doing Barry CollectorCon, organised by Retromania in Barry Memorial Hall down by the seaside. And we're going to have a bloody students table there. We're going to hopefully have some raffles and some fundraising stuff and tell you all about the movie. And I'm hoping to try and get one or two of the cast to join me. We've had some events in the past and haven't been able to get the cast to join me. And I understand that, they don't want to spend a day at a convention when they're not getting paid. But I will say with Offworld, every time we did an event, we had 4 or 5 people joining us from the cast and crew, which helps because then, it's not all down to me to try and persuade people that this is going to be a good film. They can talk to the actors, which is good. So let's talk about Offworld as well for a bit. I can't remember exactly what date we announced Offworld had its US release. Just as a quick refresher there, because we have an American distributor, they focus on a domestic, i.e., American release first. And that's gone out on a number of platforms, iTunes, Apple, that kind of thing, Amazon. And I think it's something like 90 days. Don't hold me to that. Oh, the postman's around. It's something like 90 days. And then we should hopefully have the UK version of, Apple, iTunes, Amazon, etc., etc. So bear with, okay? There's nothing I can do about it. Since we handed the film over in April last year, it's out of my hands. We've had some pretty strongly worded comments from people blaming us for not doing anything in the UK and blaming us for, I don't know, for shortchanging the public or whatever, which is not the case. It's out of our hands. We hand it to the distributor and they do what they feel is best. And they have done. And considering they don't get paid unless they sell the film, and we don't get anything unless the film is sold and the distributors got their investment back first, we don't get paid either. So if you think we're sitting here going, ha 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 ha, look at all this money, it ain't happening. That's not how it works. It's kind of like a bank loan, I suppose. A bank loan lends you money, but in this case, the money doesn't come to us. The distributor spends their own money on marketing this film, and they've got to make that much money back before we get any. And even then, there are discounts and deductions and stuff. So we don't know how much we're going to get back, if anything. We've always said we're not expecting any back, but anything we do get back, the first people who get paid are the actors, because the actors in Offworld did it all for free, and that's fair enough. Anyway, that's Offworld. That's bloody students. What next? Conventions coming up. Next weekend, I'm going to pop down to Exeter on a Sunday with my Mando and with my partners in crime, James and Emmy. We're just going to do Exeter for the day. I heard I've been told it's a fun little event, so we'll do that on a Sunday. And then the bigger one is MegaCon in Birmingham around the 20th. I think it's around the 26th of March. So I'm hoping to have Jack Sparrow ready for that, which will be basically my first full test of Jack Sparrow version 3. Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see what Jack Sparrow looks like 4 years after I retired him. I retired him because it was doing my head in. I basically had enough of it for a long time. And I had to sell the suit because people kept asking me to come out of retirement to do stuff. I don't know what part of retired they don't understand, but people will go, I know you're retired, but could you just do this one event? And you go, that's not what retirement means. Anyway, so nearly out of coffee. I think we're getting at the 20-minute mark. Anyway, I'm going to do Jack Sparrow for MegaCon. I'm going to do any amendments to the costume in time for Glaston Selfie, which takes place in the summer. I can't remember whether it's June, July, or August. I think it's July, mid to late July. Glaston Selfie Charity Festival, which is always a good time. So I'm doing Jack mainly for them. I'm not doing birthday parties. I'm not doing Cardiff Bay. I'm not doing any of these hire a pirate things. I'm not doing any bouncy castles, 5-year-old birthday parties, that kind of stuff. And I'm certainly not doing stuff in the past where you turn up at some event, they make you change in a toilet, you work all day, and they say cheers, and they don't even give you your train fare home, It's all that. I'm not doing that anymore. Anyway, so we're at the 20-minute mark. what else do I want to tell you about? Okay, so next week, I'm hoping to have a longish edited video with stuff. I'll be using a couple of clips off TV and some music and stuff. So I'm hoping it doesn't get all the copyright strikes. So I'll have to sort of trial and error that. I'm going to keep the clips under 10 seconds and hopefully YouTube won't bash me for that or claim the clips. So that's something to look forward to, I guess. At some point, I'll be doing a Jack Sparrow suit up to see where I am with it, what it looks like. That means I've got to go to a shop and buy makeup, the old guy liner and stuff. But I am getting increasingly aware that I'm getting old and I'm still not in great shape. So maybe I will look exactly like Johnny Depp. He's getting old and he's not in great shape. No, he's not. He's looking pretty good for his age, isn't he? Let's face it. He's better than me. But we'll have to see how that goes. And a lot of you may have noticed on social media, I'm currently working on a Skeletor head and hood, face and hood, skull and hood. I bought the skull mask as a fact-finding thing for the film. I thought, well, if I can turn that type of mask, which is rather cheap, it's under 15 quid, into a mummy mask with an articulated jaw, it may be good. So it's a decent mask for the price. And I started going, oh, I could turn this into Skeletor. So I don't know what I'm doing with Skeletor yet. Most probably in display. And we'll see how that goes. I mean, I really like Skeletor. He's cheesy as heck, but he's great fun and he's got a great look. Fun fact, did you know Skeletor's original name was Keldor? He was a magician. I mean, I think that was retconned a few years later in the comics, but he went from Keldor and then something happened to him and he ended up all scully. So anyway, I've been chatting for 22 minutes now. My coffee's gone. And it's typical. Someone just joins. Hello, whoever you are. But if you rewind the video, you'll see I've talked about bloody students, off-world, cosplay, all kinds of stuff. And it's at least I'm here on a Tuesday having a brief chat with y'all. And I'll leave this up. And again, comments, questions, and suggestions all gratefully received down the bottom. Like and subscribe if you feel like you want to do that. And hopefully I'll see you next week with quite a long edited video of a long kind of forgotten TV star. How interesting is that? Well, it may be. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now by pressing, I think, that button up there. So have a good Tuesday, and I will see you next week. Take care now. Bye-bye then.